before we got there, my dad goes, do you know Kaylee Cuoco? Of course, he's probably mentioned her to me 1,000 times,
Big
right?
Bang Theory.
It's one of the 6 shows he watches.
Yeah.
Of course, I know who she is, right? And he goes, well, I've been talking to her on social. And Katie's like, you're not talking to her.
I said, not only are you not talking to her, you're not talking to a her.
Yeah, that's
right.
what, yes.
You are talking to a man who's trying to get your money.
Yeah, and he goes, well, whatever. He goes, they were asking me questions about, where I live, and then they asked me to send a picture of myself. Okay. And I'm like, can you imagine?
Imagine Kaylee Cuoco. I want a picture of you.
Yeah.
I need it.
And think about what he thinks is really happening.
Yes. Kaylee
Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory is chatting back and forth with him on social media and asking him to send her a photo of himself.
Now imagine that's really happening, and then the photo she gets is of my dad. Okay.
Welcome, everybody, as we get situated here to the DLP Agenda. As you can see,
we're flummoxed.
We have Katie Robinson joining us. Justin has a little bit of the case of the flu. He got the flu shot, and it gave him the flu. So we have traded up for Katie.
Hi, guys.
But,
somber note here. What's interesting is that we've been doing this show a very, very long time. It's not interesting. It's interesting and sad. And so we've lost people along the way. We lost Dylan Meyer, who was in the very first show that we ever did for the murder mystery. Comedian Dylan Meyer, hilarious guy. We lost Erik, the actor, who ended up being a friend of ours, brother, Mike Klein. And this is probably the okay, babe. This is probably the person closest to this show that we've lost. To about 5 o'clock today, we found out that Jeremy Woodworth has passed.
Yeah, it's Erik's brother, Erik Woodworth. Jeremy has been part of this show in some form or fashion with his the songs he's done for Gramps, the Dig Dug.
Before we even met Jeremy, or before I even met Jeremy, he was a P1 for 98 Rock. Loved 98 Rock. He'd been to many Bacon and Beers. He'd been to many events. Even when Mickey Coachella had auditions for his show, Jeremy Woodworth showed up to audition for that. So he's always loved 98 Rock. And he also he wanted to have some sort of celebrity. He loved celebrity. And so he'd go
to all the horror festivals.
He'd go to them and he'd meet like the kid who stuck his tongue on the pole in A Christmas Story. That's who he would meet, these C and D listers. He'd meet them and he loved them. He knew them by name. He tried to develop friendships with them. And as a matter of fact, we just saw him. I saw him most recently about 2 weeks ago at the Bussy show, in November. Maybe it was a little more than
Thanksgiving Eve. Yes.
Thanksgiving. So 4 weeks ago, I saw him and he showed up to always supported his brother. Yeah. Right. A lot. And he showed up to the concert. And he was dressed as, I don't know, how would you describe it? How would you describe how he was
It's
dressed?
hard to describe anything about Jeremy.
A freak.
He had long hair. Yeah. And people were like, who the hell's that guy? I go,
But that's what he wanted.
No, of course he loved.
And he loved his brother. I've said this before, but when Erik, anytime he had some sort of the first time on 98 Rock or the first time in the morning, and he would post about it. He's as proud of any brother as any brother's ever been.
Of course, and all he ever wanted to do was be associated with 98 Rock. It was probably the most important thing that's ever happened to him. He loved the station. And when you and I did the Purple Power Hour during COVID, the Purple Power Hour was
it's a Monday night show.
Yes.
It's a Raven show on 98 Rock, which is generally co-hosted by an actual Raven.
By a Raven, yes. But because of COVID, they couldn't do that. But they also had the luxury of being able to have people do it from home.
Yes.
And so Rob and I did it. And look, Dennis Pitta wasn't on it, right?
We had fun.
Yeah, we didn't have some former or current Raven. However,
you had Rob Mayer and Joe Robinson.
It was funny, and our theme song was written by Jeremy Woodworth.
And it set the tone for the show.
I loved it.
Oh,
here it is.
The Purple Power Hour with Rob and Joe. The Purple Power Hour with Rob and Joe. The Purple Power Hour with Rob and Joe. The Purple Power Hour with Rob and Joe.
No, I'm gonna
it's
get
so
the
much
end.
less annoying now.
You know what? I loved it. The production also was absolute shit on that.
Yes.
And I can't believe the
the
station let us play it, and they never said one word. I played it the first episode, played it the second. We just continued to play it. Nobody ever said a word to us. I don't know. Maybe they weren't listening. I have no idea.
It's possible. Maybe they loved it. You know.
Yeah, I loved it, and we played it every time.
I loved, you know, this thing we're having in January 20th. You know, we're doing this event with the Patreons where at Dave Dennis's house.
This is crazy.
Where, you know, it's sad, but in the way we're going to kind of
we're
turn
still doing
it into sort of a celebration, a tribute. We'll be showing the movie that Jeremy was in that he won.
Well, by the way,
Best Actor award.
He was in multiple movies.
Yes.
And I know that because one time there was a text exchange between Erik and his brother, Jeremy, and they said, which movies, I don't know why I'm laughing about this, but what movies had the best rape scenes in them?
Yeah.
And Jeremy gave his list, and 2 of the movies were movies that he was in.
Well,
that's right.
And Ariel says a celebration of life. And you know, I believe Tommy said in our text that, you know, maybe his ash will be in the urn because, you know, he and Justin's brother, the whole bit was they weren't invited, but somehow he made his way. He found a way to be there.
Let me also say real quick, don't post anything on social media if you're listening in chat.
Right.
I don't know that the entire family is aware, but I did talk to Erik and I said, hey, we were going to kind of do a little bit of a tribute. So just give it time for the family to find out through a relative and not through Mac Bergson as an example, right? You don't want Mac Bergson breaking the news.
No,
to you.
You don't.
But Jeremy is also a regular in chat.
I mean, think of all the songs he wrote. The Insurance Man about Gramps, you and Coles.
Yeah, he never wrote a good song. Now I
he only wrote great songs.
I don't have the same but I still enjoyed hearing him.
Yes.
Robbie didn't even like hearing him. Robbie they would come over. Robbie would try to pretend like he didn't get him, or he would try to not have them ready for the show because he was so annoyed by it. But that also was a part of the bit too, which I love.
Yes. Which one is this, Robbie?
Insurance Man.
Okay. See, this is a classic.
Let's give it a.
It's got a little.
It's got a little beat to it.
Well, it's Gramps. He's got swagger.
Intro.
Tell me what you want. Premium or whole life.
I love the fact that he loved doing it, and that brought him joy, and that brought us joy.
Well, Erik used to say that he would give the minimal effort possible. He would only do one take, no matter what it was. He would do one take.
That's our brand too.
And then that's what he would send into us. And of course,
shout out to Erik. I don't want to cry. I know I'm like sniffling into the microphone,
it's
but
okay, Katie.
I don't necessarily. I don't want to act like I didn't love Jeremy. Jeremy was funny in his own weird, twisty, freaky way, and I had no problems with Jeremy. But Erik is like family, so I'm very sad for Erik, and I'm very sorry for Erik.
Yeah, and if
he was a really, really good brother.
If you hear a dog upstairs, that's because there's nobody up there. Katie usually is up there watching the dog.
It's okay, Katie.
Yeah, I turned the anti-bark on, but Katie thinks that that's too torturous, so we might just have to hear some dogs.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say that yes, I was down on Jeremy's creative endeavors, but I have to say this: I cried Christmas 3 times. And one of the times was I was watching the Norm Macdonald documentary on bikes.
Okay, gotcha.
And it occurred to me, like Norm Macdonald, Jeremy was fearless. And he didn't really care if you thought it was funny because it made him laugh.
Yeah, that was he liked to make himself laugh for sure. And I'll also say this. So Erik is a good brother because he has a podcast, Quality Time. I don't know what's going to happen to Quality Time. Quality Time, he said, was done exclusively in order to make sure he got to spend time with his brother. And so that's what you do every week. And I remember they started out it being something, but then what they decided to make it was just reviewing films. And then every single week they would walk all the way through. I was on it multiple times. And Jeremy, we would sit there. The show was usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And Jeremy often would, I got to go deal with these dogs in a second, but Jeremy would often make a comment. I would have no idea what he was talking. Literally,
almost
no idea.
Every time.
Yeah, I would have no idea what he's talking about. But I went to see Tenacious D with Erik, and Jeremy went, and I never forget. He couldn't make it from the parking garage, and so he's like, "I'm just going to take a rest here." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to the concert. I'm not here to wait for you on the inside."
Right.
And next thing you know, Jeremy comes scooting by. He had a scooter. Literally,
I do remember that story.
I'm like, I don't know how he managed to navigate this thing, but he was in he had a
Van Arsdale says if Jeremy doesn't show up in this the Oscars in memoriam segment, we riot.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we went to Maryland Championship Wrestling, and there was a comedian, local comedian here, CJ Burney, who had about the same level of celebrity as Jeremy.
Yeah,
and he was in the in memoriam, and so I definitely think, and it's late enough in the year that he should be remembered, Jeremy Woodworth.
Yes, absolutely.
At the very least, for what he did for what is it? What do you call it when you make what are movies called at the level that he does them, Robbie? What are those called? Independence. That's
Independence.
it. The independent horror film genre.
Jody said, just listen to the episode where Jeremy was trying to make the DLP Agenda theme song when they rebranded. Yeah, I mean, he's constantly he loved what he loved as much as anybody loved anything. I mean, he loved making those songs. He loved those sort of independent movies, that whole world, that what they call the Chiller Fest. I think it's the local thing.
Like I said, he loved those type of celebrities. And let me tell you, I don't know if we told this story yet, but one time he showed up to 98 Rock. He did this thing where he would dress up like John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, Pogo the Clown was this thing. And he had a business card that literally had John Wayne Gacy's address as his address.
And it said, parties, whatever, and rape, right? Yeah. So he would show up dressed up as the serial killer, and that was his shtick or whatever. He'd go to these horror festivals dressed like this, and then one day, before Justin knew him, before anybody knew him, he showed up to 98 Rock as the clown. He was banned from 98 Rock. He wasn't allowed. He was no longer allowed in the building.
Do you remember? I believe it was Sing for Your Life, one of our early murder mysteries, where at the end, I guess there's a dance. Maybe it's Uptown Funk. But remember, we're at Magooby's and we look, and Jeremy is on stage wearing a horse head dancing.
Yeah.
By the way, it had nothing to do with the show. There's no horse tie-in.
Well, you might remember that there was a couple of shows that Erik couldn't attend, and Jeremy took his place.
Halloween shows.
Yes, it was Halloween.
Jeremy was, and I had to. I'll never forget. Now Erik is a big boy, but Jeremy is bigger, and I had to zip Jeremy up into that Spider-Man suit, into that.
He also had like really bad psoriasis.
Yes, he had horrible psoriasis, and I remember zipping him up and seeing his back, and it looked a lot like the surface of the moon or whatever. And it was it was. But apparently he got some medication, and he had got himself in pretty good shape. I just remembered another Jeremy. Oh, another great Jeremy story is Jeremy's home was infested with rats.
Yes.
And Jeremy,
sorry for Jeremy's wife as well. I don't know if she listens, but we gotta.
Well, there was a video that Erik posted yesterday of Jeremy singing White Christmas, and he was selling it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a joke. Yeah. He was just singing it, and it wasn't bad. He's not a bad singer.
Erik posted a bunch of videos yesterday. It was Christmas yesterday, and everyone came over to Erik's house.
Yeah, the whole family
was
got
there.
to spend time with Jeremy.
And they all did karaoke, and he posted a bunch of videos. And I mean, seemed like it was peak Jeremy. Like, I think that.
Well, his family was yelling at him.
I know it's never a good time to like lose somebody, but I think that just seems like
they got the best that he had to offer.
They got a great last day.
It was. I feel like I don't really necessarily believe in all of that stuff, but something about it just seemed very apropos.
100%.
Yeah, but I know I'm jumping around stories a little bit, but that's watching him there, and his whole family got to see him. Not only did they get to hear him sing White Christmas, he actually sang it straight. But then he sang Crazy on You by heart, and his whole family wanted to kill him. So ironically, but they were screaming at him for him singing too screechy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you know what? I was watching some of those videos because I believe he'd given Erik's daughters some like Christmas like musician like instruments they're gonna be really loud and
annoying,
but his cackle, he had a great
laugh. He did have a great
really good laugh. Justin, I believe, is chiming in on the chat, and yet my family still draws breath.
Let me say one more thing. Back to the rat infestation.
Yes.
He bought rat poison in order to try to get rid of these. And what he accidentally bought was rat bait. So what happened was he thought he was poisoning these rats.
Classic blooper.
They were thriving, because he was feeding them.
I do wonder. I don't know. Maybe we forgot about this. Didn't he do a podcast with Chris Restivo?
He did.
He did a podcast.
So I don't know who's
podcast.
going to tell Chris, but
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a new T-shirt coming out. That
Yes, in memoriam.
yeah, can we have?
should we all wear 5-plated T-shirts to Jeremy's funeral?
Yeah, it's not 5-plated, Katie. It's the stripper whisperer.
I'm sorry,
He's
I'm
rebranded.
sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I'm sure Chris will make a fantastic shirt, high quality, very good image, excellent quality work.
Yeah.
Robbie, I'm sure you could attest. As someone who does
R.I.P.
photoshopping as well.
R.I.P. Jeremy Woodworth.
Yeah, we actually had
Probably the name of the episode, right?
during
That should be the name.
one of the murder mysteries. We had, if you go to Chris Restivo, is it his Instagram?
The stripper whisperer.
He's
yeah.
taking movie posters
Yeah.
and essentially every movie that's ever been made, he's inserting himself. Just maybe the worst Photoshop you ever
worst
see in
things ever.
your entire life.
You couldn't try to make it worse.
But
So-
it's so funny because it's so bad.
It's so bad, it's hilarious. But each of us got a movie, and we have
Oh,
to
that's
create.
right.
We have to create our
Right.
own. I have a good one, Menace to Society.
Yeah, I have Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
one. What'd you get? Do you remember?
I have the parody of Menace to Society somehow.
Oh yeah, don't
yeah.
drink your juice in the
forgotten that we
hood
were
or whatever.
doing
Yeah,
that.
that's not a good
that's-
one.
No, it's
already a
horrible.
Just
parody,
pick a
yeah.
different one.
Robbie,
I will.
what did you have?
I think I got Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That's
that
actually
seems
a
pretty
good one.
good.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
like an easy one. Plus, Robbie's great at doing this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So Robbie will
yeah,
probably.
but I'll make it bad like Chris Restivo.
Yeah.
I was, you know what? Just real quick, I shouldn't tell you guys this, but I was just going to ask Chris. I was going to call Chris and go, "Hey, can you
Have him
make
do it."
yourself one Menace to Society themed? It's my
That's
favorite
good.
movie."
Yeah.
I
And
bet
would-
he would say, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of watching
I'm
the
in the middle of something.
Minnesota Vikings
So
game.
January 20th, again, we're figuring out the details. Who's going to be there? A lot of people we met saw at Magoobies were asking about it. We'll get to all the murder stuff. So, but we'll come up again. This just happened with Jeremy, literally a couple hours ago. So we didn't have anything planned, but we will definitely, make that a special event and do something special for Jeremy. We're obviously going to watch the movie, but now we're going to watch it. It'll be sad, but it'll also be a celebration of us.
I'll play one dig dug game as Jeremy, and
Love
then I'll
it.
try to beat that score.
Love it. So
Will that work?
I think that works fantastic.
Okay.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. We'll try to make this a fun and happy episode. Be right back. 10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Baltimore Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as lawyers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire Rice, Murtha, and Pesaurus. When you've been wrong, you don't deserve second best. You don't deserve the B team. You deserve the very best. You deserve the A team. Rice, Murtha, and Pesaurus. RiceLawMD.com. I love it when a plan comes together. I actually, courtesy of Justin and myself, have a gift for you two.
Wow, give it up.
Oh, really?
This is, if you remember, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You talked about you keep finding Katie's hair. In
That's
your
right. What do you
asshole.
have? A hair?
Oh, I thought it was a real
Yeah.
gift.
And we thought that maybe, I don't know whose is whose. You'll figure it out in a second.
All right.
But we thought that maybe that the soap was the culprit.
Okay, I gotcha.
Oh,
I have
his.
Oh,
You
we got
have a
his
little-
and hers.
his and hers soap.
Mm.
All right, we'll do it.
Oh,
Oh, that
actually,
thing
that
smells
smells really
awesome.
good.
No,
Yeah.
it's quality soap. Yeah,
Well, I'll be
yeah.
using
Show it to
this.
the camera here.
Yeah,
Little
Here we
his
go.
and hers. Yeah,
It says soap freaking excited.
yeah.
What
Pretty,
does yours say?
pretty funny, huh?
Mine says
Get that hair out of my ass.
"So freaking
Oh.
excited"
Mm.
is what it says. Thank you,
Okay.
man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, did you get anything good for Christmas?
It's a good question. Tawana gave me a robe, very soft. I got my mom.
Do you
got me
wear a robe, or would
I-
you not say
I'm
it?
going to now.
Have you ever worn one?
I have occasionally, but I do a lot of lying around in my house, so it's
Now
I
you're
do
gonna
a
do
lot
it in
of
a robe?
lounging. Yeah,
Can I say something?
you can, and you
and
will.
I'm sure it's a good gift, but it's hard to develop a new habit like robe wearing
Yeah.
at our age. It's going to be hard to
Right.
do. If I were to predict, I would say you don't pull it off.
Yeah, it's Probably correct.
Is that bad?
It's not a habit. It's just
It's a habit.
I don't
To
find
wear
it to be a
something?
habit. I think it's like, hey, oh wow, I don't have to put clothes on and I don't want to be naked. I want to be comfortable and I'm
Yeah.
going to sit on the couch. I mean, I don't know. I don't find it to
seems
be
like
a
I can
habit.
pull that off.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, hey, you'll let me know
It
if you
takes
do.
less work to do what she.
You'll
I
let
don't
me know
know.
if you do. You know,
Okay.
I think it's more of an opportunity that presents itself where a robe now fits in where it
Yes.
where it didn't
Sure.
before.
well, you know, my father, what he does every single night is
Mhm.
he goes and he eats his dinner. I think he eats the earliest dinner, right? 4:30.
4:30,
He
yeah.
eats 4:30 to 5:30. After he's done eating,
Mhm.
he walks upstairs, he undresses, and he puts on a robe.
That's right.
Well,
And then he
that's-
sits down in his recliner.
He's my idol.
And
so-
he watches Family Feud.
Okay.
And he watches
I
The
like
Big
those
Bang
shows.
Theory. Speaking of The Big
Can we-
Bang Theory.
Oh, it's like,
Yeah.
can we talk about your father at Christmas this
Yeah,
year?
yeah. Speaking of The Big Bang Theory,
All
okay.
right.
So Katie and I, we did a little bit of a bingo card of what the things my father would say, and of course,
Gotcha.
you know,
I'm sorry. Just to preface, we picked him up from his facility and we drove him to my sister-in-law's for Christmas Eve, and we just knew that certain topics or things would be said, so we
course.
thought, let's have fun with it, and we made a list of all of the things, and then we just kept checking.
Oh,
them
and he
off
just-
and he basically hit every
Mhm.
single
he
one.
hit it.
before
He
we got
hit
there.
every single mark, and of course, my son's poor girlfriend. I'm sure Joey warned her, but the whole time he's like, "Are you the most beautiful woman?" And and it's
Mhm.
just constantly
Yes.
doing that. But before we got there, my dad goes, "Do you know Kaylee Cuoco?" Of course, you know he's probably mentioned her to me 1,000
Right.
times.
Big
Right?
Bang Theory.
It's one of the
Theory,
6 shows he watches.
Yeah.
Of course, I know who she is, right? And he goes, "Well, I've been talking to her on social." And Katie's like, "You're not talking to her."
I said, not only are you not talking to her, you're not talking to a her.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what. Yes,
You
He
are
goes, "Well,"
talking to a man
he
who's
goes,
trying to get your money.
yeah, and he goes, "Well, whatever." He goes, they were asking me questions about, where I live, and then they asked me to send a picture of myself. Okay, and I'm like, "Can you imagine?"
Imagine
if-
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, get the-
I want a picture of you.
Yeah.
I need it.
And
Think
they-
about, think about what he thinks is really happening.
Yes,
He
Kaylee
thinks that
Cuoco.
Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory
Mhm.
is chatting back and forth with him
Yeah.
on social media and asking him
Yeah.
to send
Yes.
her a photo of himself.
Now imagine she's asking. Imagine that's really happening, and then the photo she gets is of my dad. Okay, she's like, "Oh, this is a little bit different." Anyway, so my father's telling me the story, and he goes, and then she sent me a picture, and here's the picture she sent.
Mm.
Now he shows me a picture. Clearly, she's naked. This is a naked woman.
Yeah.
It's not Kaylee Cuoco. It's just some other girl.
Just
Yes.
a Google image naked
Yes,
photo.
it's just some
copy
other naked girl. I
paste.
go, "Dad, I don't want to see this." I go, "First of all, it's not. This guy." Anyway, I don't. There's
I think he's bragging, right? I think
100% he's bragging.
that,
Yes.
hey, look at, but it's so inappropriate. And mind you, it's just Joe and I. So we get there
yeah.
and we had got him a gift for Christmas.
Mhm.
He loves looking at photos, all kinds of photos, but he saves a ton of
Mostly
photos.
of Mila Kunis.
He saves a ton of photos of Mila Kunis, saves a ton of photos of all of the grandkids and
Right.
us and everybody. He knows how to like save photos to his album
He's
on
got
his
that
iPad.
down.
Yeah, he knows how to do that. Of like
I don't know how, but he
one
does.
of 5 things he remembers
for
to
him.
Yeah.
know how to do. So I thought it would be cute to get him one of those digital picture frames where we can like,
Yes.
sorry, the fur, where we can show him how to use it. We'll upload everything for him
Yeah,
and get
but
it set
every
up.
picture he wants to see
Yes,
on there.
I got
And then
Twan to
show
one
him,
of those.
yeah, and show him how to use it. And then we can also add photos
Yes.
to it too. So we get him that. Of course,
Great
he's like
idea.
so stressed out because he's like, I don't know how to work this. I'm like, we're gonna set it up for you. It's
Mhm.
okay. Think of the pictures that you want me to add. Now, as I'm saying that, my stepson's girlfriend, who's meeting everyone for the first time,
Oh boy.
is sitting about 4.5 feet to my right. And she's obviously listening. And he goes, well, are you going to be able to upload those naked photos I showed
Yeah.
you to it? I'm like, no. And she's like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, don't listen to him.
Right. So I'm so embarrassed for her. But I think he just wants everyone to know that people are sending him naked photos.
Is it like me with the videos? Brittany
No,
asked me,
it's
did
n-
I get any new videos? I did not, Brittany.
It's not
maybe
like-
I screwed it up.
It's not like you with the
Okay.
videos because that's a real person
is
who
real-
you've met in real life
Yes,
before.
right,
Okay, I'm going to
And-
ask a question that I don't even know that I want to know the answer to. Do we think he's like
Using them.
yes?
Do
Do you think he's
yes.
JOing to these?
I
you
do.
think? I don't
know.
I don't know if he is.
I would say 10 years ago, no doubt. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here's the thing that was making me fucking nuts. Okay, that he was doing.
Robbie, why don't you ask him next time you talk to him?
So my dad on his birthday, I was going to go see him, but my sister said, "Hey, don't go see him. He's sick.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's really sick, right?" So I called my dad. I said, "Hey, happy birthday. I can't come by. Robin said you were sick, but we're going to see you at Christmas time, right?" Which was only 9 days later. No, it wasn't. It was 8 days later. Okay. It isn't ideal, but I can't get sick because I have 3 murder mysteries. We're going to St. Thomas.
5 murder mysteries.
5 murder mysteries.
Yeah.
So we have all this stuff to do. I can't get sick. So we get in the car and my dad goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You didn't come by." I go, Hey, Dad, listen, I was trying to let you know, I talked to your daughter. She said you were too sick for me to come and see you. He goes, "I wasn't sick." I go, "Dad."
Well, the facility also said he was sick.
The facility called and said, "You need to get your father to the doctor."
Yeah. Are they all lying? Yeah.
So
Right.
I go, "Well, you're some insurance salesman. They are in the medical profession, right?"
Yeah.
Both of them, my sister and this. What do you think there? He goes, "No." He goes, "All I had was mucus and I was congested and I had I
fever,
had diarrhea and I had a fever."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
I'm
I
like,
had was all the symptoms.
and I go,
He
"What?"
said, "I've had the sniffles for 2 years."
Yeah, 2 years, right?
That's what
I
he
go,
said.
"I've never heard you sniff one time," right? And I started getting pissed off because essentially what he's saying is that I wasn't sick and you didn't come see me on my birthday.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's got every symptom.
You're having a tough year with your birthday. With people's birthday. in your
Yeah,
family.
right.
I don't know what it is about the Robinsons and their birthdays.
Yeah.
But
Every
it's time to move on.
Yes.
With the importance of the birthdays.
every
Don't get
single
mad, Robbie.
symptom that
I'm
you
just joking,
have.
Mom.
And by the way, have you heard it that the flu's going around? Is that something that you've heard?
I am
Justin has it as we speak.
I am so sick. I'm so scared of getting sick. I'm stressed because Joe had a little bit of a tickle in his throat this morning and had a little bit of a chill. Now he was going on 4 hours of sleep, so it's probably had something to do with it. But I have been drinking this Bloom. I have been.
You have a trip coming up. We'll get
we
to
have
that in
a
a
trip
second.
coming up. I am so stressed because when we're at the murder mysteries, we're coming in contact with hundreds and hundreds of people, and this time of year, everyone's getting sick,
and we're touching things that they're touching and handing pins and collecting pins, and it's the fact that we haven't gotten sick yet, knock on wood, or whatever this is. But that's the thing. It's like my father would rather risk me getting sick than admit he's sick.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give a fuck whether or not I get sick as long as I show up there, which, it's like, it's crazy. And what he will be willing to admit. So when we bring him to the Christmas, he sits down and they're serving Prosecco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like some type of mixed drink, but you can mix in it's like a Jingle Bell cocktail, but you have to mix it yourself. And he's like, "No, thanks. I just want this."
Yeah, please don't add anything that isn't alcohol. So he drinks one and then he goes up and he pours another and he drinks it and he goes up and he pours another. And Katie walks over and goes, "Hey, you need to slow down." And he goes, "What do you mean? This is my first one."
He drank
now we're watching him. We're watching it happen.
Him drink 3 glasses of Prosecco in less than 20 minutes. And that's it. And I walked over. I go, "You need to slow down. If you're going to eat something, you can drink some more." He's like, "This is my first one." So he's literally just lying to my face. But I was like, okay. Or he just forgot.
He could have forgotten. But then what he does is we have to then hide. Now, you know that when we did Thanksgiving, we replaced, and he listens. So sorry, he just hears this. We had to replace the cider. We had to replace the champagne and the mimosas with cider. Sparkling cider. So this time we literally just had to take the alcohol and just hide it.
Truthfully though, I didn't change the label. He could have just read the label. It said sparkling cider on it. So I didn't claim that it was champagne. He just didn't read
legally,
it and
you didn't lie to him.
That's right. You didn't break the law.
But in this case, we had to hide it, and we had to tell Joey and his girlfriend, "Hey, the champagne's around the corner over there," because he was and if he gets too drunk, Robbie knows this too.
Oh, it's so obnoxious.
It will ruin the night.
So obnoxious, right? So then what he did instead was he kept walking up to the same empty bottle and looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I don't know if he was forgetting or whatever it was, but he was, just in case somebody changed their mind and decided to put another bottle up there. Then we did that. Now, by the end of the night, it gets a little late and my dad doesn't want to be there anymore. And we play these games and it makes me crazy because he doesn't take, okay. There's this game called Left, Right, Center. It's the easiest game in the world.
Mhm.
You have $3. You roll 3 dice. If it says left, you hand $1 to your left. If it says right, you hand $1 to your right.
Literally
If
the
it says,
easiest
it says center,
Fun
you put
game.
$1 in the
Yeah.
center. If it's a circle, you keep the $1. Chris Restivo could
It's all
understand this
luck.
game. It's all luck.
Yeah.
There's no, by the way, he doesn't even need to know the rules. All we have to do is tell him how many dice to throw.
Yes.
Couldn't wrap his head around. It was making me crazy, but it's fine if you don't understand.
Right.
It's the constant complaint. So my sister Lori brings $50 in ones for everybody to play this game, and all my father is doing is complaining that he doesn't understand the game.
Ariel says she loves Left, Right, Center. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm surprised you understand.
Everybody
it.
loves it. Yeah.
Of
if
course.
he would have won that freaking pot of money at the end, I would have been like, take an Uber home.
Now you mentioned that he drinks. Should we segue to the drunk girls? At the
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, let me start out by, and I was a little, I don't know, maybe I was humbled because there was a girl that she goes, oh yeah, I first met Rob when I was 19 years old. It was 10 years more. It might have been more than 10 years ago. It was like 12 years ago. Rob was doing comedy at the Baltimore Comedy Factory and he fell off the stage. Now, of course, I was there.
Yes.
So I was at that show, which means she didn't remember me.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I didn't fall off the stage, but I would imagine that I would be memorable too. But apparently I wasn't. Only Rob was. And Rob, she's not your best friend, but you've essentially kept in touch with this girl for the last 12 years.
Yes. Yes. I've seen her. We've remained friends. She's come to see me do stand up a bunch of times.
She's a pretty
Yeah.
girl.
She came.
Yeah.
She
Lindsay,
came.
shout out Lindsay.
Yeah, and she came to the show with her friend Rachel.
Yes.
I
who
remember
had not met. That was new to us.
And Rachel was an attractive woman, and we put her in the show.
Yeah.
And when she came up to do her part, she was clearly not in a condition where she should have had a role. It still worked because it was funny, but she was completely.
But it was better that way.
It was 100% better. Actually, it was the show was going okay, but then that happened and it became a home run.
Justin
smelled blood in the water, and then it was it.
Justin had some great lines with her. Like,
yes.
Like he's like acting like he's an LA agent. We found her. The next Bette Midler.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was great.
It was good.
And she was great. Now, but she was clearly messed up. And I remember making note, oh, she's messed up if she continues to drink or do whatever else she's doing. But instead, it wasn't her. It was her friend, the one who saw you fall off the stage and didn't remember me.
Those are my people.
That girl got so messed up. I looked at her and I go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to get out of here.
Katie had to help her to
They
the
were
bathroom.
passing out
Friends of Rob.
at the end of this. At the end, you really, when you're up there, the lights are so blinding. You really can only see the people right at the front.
Right.
And the two of them were, and they were both passing out at the table.
Yeah.
At the end. Now, mind you, it's only like 9:45.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
it's
like
not.
9:30.
Yeah, the
at
night is
night.
young.
So
If that, it's a
it was
7:30 show.
I would say it's very early. I was a little concerned with the fact that both of them were struggling because at least you know
because someone's in charge.
someone needs to be able.
Right.
And I also know that like the improv likes to get people out of there as quickly as
Well,
possible.
they definitely like to get them out of
It's
there.
professionally run. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went up and I said, "Is everything okay?" And they said, "We need water." So I brought them glasses of water. She was like, "I'm calling my husband." She has the phone up to her ear. She's not calling anyone. There's nobody on the phone.
She has it backwards.
She just literally has
She's
her
not
lock.
married.
It's like her lock screen. And I was like, "Okay, well, you're not calling anyone, but I can help you call someone." And I said, "Maybe an Uber." And then her husband started calling. And so that ended up working out.
Right.
But they couldn't really stand up. I was helping them stand up, and then they needed to go to the bathroom. And so I had to walk them all the way out to the front of the club.
They started
to
getting a
the
little
stairs.
annoyed at you, right?
Yeah, they were getting annoyed because I was like, they were like, "We want to sit here longer." I'm like, "Listen,
You're the only
I
two
can-
in here.
I'm like,
Yes.
I can help you.
vacuuming.
I can help you kindly and help you to
Right.
the front,
Uh-huh.
or a bunch of people are going to walk over and
Yeah.
start yelling at you to get
Yes.
out.
And yank you out of here.
Let me help you before it gets there." And then they ended up going outside. It was very cold out, and we cleaned up, got paid, whatever. They had sat out there for at least 30 minutes.
Well, they were still out
They did
there.
get home, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know
Yes.
that they got
Mhm.
home, but they were still out there when we left.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't care enough they were on their own. Sorry. That's,
Yeah.
I didn't want anything bad to happen
adults.
to
They're
them.
in their
Yeah.
30s.
But at this point, you acted irresponsibly enough. It isn't like that dog that was left, which
Yeah.
I really cared about.
Right.
But what was interesting is that then Rob messages the one he knows
Lindsay,
to
yeah.
Lindsay to make sure that she's alive. And she's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to come to the next show.
Yeah.
As if normally
nothing had happened.
Normally people be like, God, I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed by this.
yeah.
It was nothing. She's like, that's how I act.
So that is very Rob Mayer, though.
That's true.
Yes.
I get completely blacked out. And then
I mean, it does make sense. Because you told her the story. If we've told the story before, but the infamous me passing out at the Baltimore Comic Factory, which is it was around Christmas time. So
it was a long time ago.
It was like a 4 or 5 person show. You, me, John Muma,
Timmy Hall, Larry XL. I believe that was the show. Yeah.
We each doing 17 minutes.
I say maybe she just assumed because that's how she saw you before that's you. She doesn't need to explain herself to you.
I mean, it's valid.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, she's like, that's just how we do.
But I had a combination of no sleep and no food and too much drinking. And I did 30 minutes of my 17. The mic cord came out at one point. I couldn't put it back in. You walked on stage, put it back in.
Yeah.
Me. I said, thank you, good night. And then I fell off the stage. And then they put me in the lobby and this bench. People were taking pictures.
With you. Yes. Of you. Yeah.
Right. They took me down the service elevator. I threw up in the trash can in the service elevator. So that's good.
For you, man.
And then my dear friends, rest in peace, Jessica Paquin, and her husband, my dear friend Steve, they were in town to see the show. They had a hotel. So I woke up in their hotel room.
Yeah, they saved you.
And I was like, what happened? And Jessica told me, and I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. She goes, no, it was that bad. I go, no, it wasn't. No, it was. But then the next day, me concerned about my future at the county bank, I called you.
Yeah, you called me and you go, hey, I don't know what to do. I mean, obviously, this is my home club at the time it was. I want to be able to work it. What do you think I should do? And I said, honestly, what I would do is I'd call Chip Coachella, the manager at the time. I'd apologize and just say, hey, look, next time I work there, I just won't drink there anymore. And you go, well, I'm not going to do that.
And I was back working there a week later.
Yeah, they actually called him later that week. So they couldn't have given a shit. But one other great thing about Lindsay is that Lindsay, apparently, Rob's friend, left her purse there.
She did.
And she, instead of her saying, yes, I was so messed up, I left my purse, she said, oh, I usually don't bring a purse.
Yes, I did love that move. That is such a move where you're like, clearly she uses a purse.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, most girls do.
Also at that same DC Improv show, God, this was so great.
By the way, we had 5 shows a week, sold out 4 or 5.
Sold out 4 or 5
sold
shows.
out the Late Show at Magoo.
Yeah.
And every show was great.
Yes.
We didn't have anything that wasn't a B+ or better. Every show. So our friends, we mentioned them many a time on here. We're going to go to St. Thomas with them later this week.
I hate this story.
Poor
Jason and Kate Minzer. They were sitting at a table, and with them was this lady who was there with no one.
Yeah, I went up to say hello before the show started, and it was a 4-top, and Kate and Jason
they got sat with a
were
stranger.
sat with somebody a woman, very nice woman. She was nice looking too.
Yeah.
She sat across from them, and there was nobody sitting next to her. And I was quickly engaging and saying hi. And I got a little awkward because I kept looking over at her, and she was just sitting there. And I said, "Oh, are you here by yourself?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay." It was a little awkward. I was like, that's kind of strange that you came to this murder mystery alone.
Is it the way that I acted when I met Daphne London? Similar to that.
Similar.
Okay.
So of course I walk away, and I immediately go to the green room, and I'm like, there's this lady out here. She came by herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting alone with my friends Kate and Jason. I just started making fun of this girl for coming by herself, which is dumb. I know better than to do this.
You told the wrong people.
And I told the wrong people because they won
Tommy first, right?
Tommy
goes
first,
out there.
goes out there, sits down next to her. So I hear you're sitting out here by
Kate
yourself.
told us in the green room.
That girl came back and started making fun of you for coming by yourself. So then now it's also making it awkward for the people that I'm friends with.
That are going to be with her.
He walks away, and they have to just sit there with her.
Well, that was the very beginning of the show, and of course everybody went up.
Yeah, Justin,
Eric went up.
I didn't do it, by the way.
I knew better than
thank you.
I knew better, and I felt like I don't want to lose a customer.
I knew better than to do it, but it was also the beginning of the show, so that awkwardness continued throughout the entire.
You were uncomfortable the entire night.
I couldn't go back over there and even say hi to my friends or thanks for coming. I had to literally just hide.
You
in
canceled
the green
vacation
room.
with them.
I legitimately just had to hide from her and I wasn't really meaning to make fun of her. I was just thinking it was a funny little.
It's rare that it's not usually something you go to by yourself.
I should have known better though.
Right.
Yeah, it does. It's every
Yeah.
once in a while we have some people that come, like the one girl that's always at Bright Box. She was here
Yes.
this past week,
Yes.
but they're weird.
Yeah, this girl was normal.
She
and,
seemed
like
like
you
a
said,
normal
attractive.
person. Yeah, like a normal person. But
Look, good for you. We're glad you showed up. Hope she had a good time, but we didn't ruin it.
Oh my
for
God,
you.
if she's listening,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But we had sold out that show, sold out both of the Bright Box. The Bright Box, it's in Winchester, Virginia.
Mhm.
It's a smaller room, but we love Nick there. Very attractive.
Oh,
guy.
yeah, he
And
is
all right,
hot.
relax
we love
over there.
the bartender, super hot
Big
too.
fan of
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, the
Um,
bartender let us know she just had a procedure where she got a new IUD.
I love
She
that
let
she
us-
told us that.
She
yes.
let us know.
Yeah.
Did
I
Nick,
congratulate
did
her.
Nick tell you anything?
No, Nick didn't. I did steal some Twix out of his office. though.
Nice. Yeah. But that was because it's a smaller room, so like a rowdy table can kind of like
Oh my
we
God.
had like the rowdiest early show we've ever had, I think.
Well, they made a good point. Nick said that Nick was talking to me. He said
Whatever.
that they all were off work that day.
Yeah. it
So
was
they had
Friday
been
before
drinking
Christmas. Yeah.
probably they were off work. They had been drinking early. So normally the late show there is the rowdy crew because it doesn't start until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So what do you do leading up to 10 p.m. other than get hammered? But
Yeah.
they were actually a lot more calm.
Yeah, it was flipped.
My dad
Then-
eats dinner 5.5 hours before that show
Yeah,
starts.
it was a gauntlet weekend of shows, and it was
It really was because you had talked about how, you were rightly stressed about how tired it was going to be, and I said to you like, well, to me, in my mind, I'm used to doing like
Yeah.
stand-up weekends of that, but I realized that the murder mystery is a lot more stressful for me than a stand-up show.
Oh yeah.
And doing this back to back to back to back because stand-up, a lot of it's just on autopilot.
Mhm.
And if the show starts late because of the wait staff or something, I don't give a shit.
Even
right?
it's the
Right.
two shows the same night.
Exactly. But every
That's
little
what's- yeah.
thing, it's stressful. So I
Yeah.
was exhausted too. And then Magooby's Saturday, shout out. We saw Ariel, we saw
Oh,
Brittany,
yeah.
we saw Van Arsdale with tons of people. Wish we could have said hi to everybody. Hope we did. A shout out to Brittany, by the way. I don't know if you know what she did.
Huh.
They were at the Late Show, I believe.
And you know what? She
They
didn't say
hung
one
out-
word to me.
Well, you're lost. You'll like this. They hung out at Wits, and then they went to Maryland Live.
Oh, and just
She was out till like 4 a.m. or something. They know how to have a good time.
They're
That
partying.
family. Yes.
Yeah. Why would she not say one word to me? I don't like that.
I don't know. It's funny. I got to find this. Maybe she was intimidated by you. Let me see if I can find this. What
Who's
somebody said to
intimidated by me?
You're gonna like this story if I can find it. Keep talking.
Oh,
So,
sure.
Yes.
Well, I will say.
Well, I
Okay.
just want to mention. I know Erik mentioned too. He loves that, right? When we do all the shows, he likes that we did them all in a row like
Yeah.
that. But the thing is all you guys, you don't realize that Christmas is like a very stressful
No, it was a lot.
thing to prepare
It
for.
was a
And,
lot.
and
Thank
I'm
you,
the
Katie.
only girl, so I have to basically do all of my Christmas stuff way early,
Yeah.
or else I'm screwed because by the time we're done on December 23rd at midnight or 1 a.m. when we get home,
Yeah.
it's Christmas Eve. And
Yeah.
I had to prepare a ham for Christmas Eve dinner that night and pick up your
The ham
dad
was
and do all
good.
those
It
things
was a
and
lot. Yeah.
get cards. And so it was just, it is a stressful
Oh,
time.
one more thing. I know are you prepared to
No,
do it?
I'll tease it and take it.
Okay, real quick. I want to tell one more Christmas story. It's a TikTok.
Well, real quick, Brittany says you were supposed to have me on the guest list, and I wasn't. Totally embarrassed.
That's not my fault.
well.
That's not my fault because I gave, and I can even show
Yeah.
you. I gave Sydney the list and I sent it in that had
Well,
her.
we'll take care of you next time.
Yeah,
We're sorry about that.
Yeah, that was you. 100% were supposed to be. I definitely
Yes.
sent it in for
Mhm.
sure, and I
believe
got
you.
it. And I got it okayed coming back. So apologies. That's. I mean, I don't know. Do
I'll
I
use
distance
some
myself from
drinks.
that? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
buy you a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
No wonder
Man.
she didn't come.
So
back
she
there,
walked
yeah.
up and said, "Hey, I remember what I even remember her last name. It started with an L, so I don't want
Yeah.
to say it on here, but yeah, I
Yeah.
100% did that." But speaking of Christmas, Katie, there's this TikTok trend where what people do is they go into a house
Yes, it's
and
awesome.
and everybody has a bag, and what they do is they fill the bag with things from around the house.
Well,
Just explain
no-
it better.
Okay, so everyone knows about the Secret Santa, right?
Yes.
So when you go to like a family party, most of the time it's at a grandparent's house or something like that. So the concept is that's going around is these grandkids are going to their grandparents' house with an empty bag, making it look like they brought a gift, and they're going to do a Secret Santa. And while grandma's not looking, or weeks ahead of time, they're stealing things from her house to put in these bags. Yeah. And then they do a Secret Santa in front of grandma,
candle holders,
where they're pulling it out, and it's things around grandma's house. And you see how long until she figures out that everything are things from inside the home. So I saw this, and I knew we'd be at my Aunt Kim's house for Christmas. So I texted all of my cousins and I said, let's pretend we're doing a cousin gift exchange. And when she's not looking, we'll fill a bunch of gift bags and with stuff around her house. And it was great because everybody was in on it but her. And we sat around and we said, because the things were so specific and Christmassy and like knick-knacky, we said that the rules were it had to be from a flea market.
That was smart.
Like it had to be a cheap gift from a flea market. And so I started and I gave it to my cousin and she opens it up and it was this little porcelain snowman. And my aunt at this point had no idea. She's taking a picture of my cousin opening it. Like, and we're like, it's amazing. Everybody's reactions were great. They were like, oh, that's awesome. Like everyone. And then my other cousin goes next and she opens this candle holder. And my aunt's like, oh, cute. And then the next gift is a little more specific. And it's like this like stuffed gnome. And my aunt's like, oh. And then she looks behind her where it was supposed to be. And then she starts making a face. And then the next gift is this like jingle bell thing she's had for like 30 years. And she's like, wait a minute. And then we keep doing it and ignoring her reactions until she's like, this is all my stuff.
Yeah, it took her about 4.
Yeah.
It took her about 4 gifts.
And then we made her, when she kind of figured it out, we made her open one of them, and it was a framed photo of her from the wall. So
Darn
it worked
good
great.
Bit.
Yeah,
it's a great bit. We have a new a Patreon episode. We put it out on Christmas Day. It's the Dumb Cast, I believe. Yes, that's what we called it.
Yeah, the Dumb Cast. It's with Justin and Joe Stamboni.
Here's a little taste of it.
I subscribe to this one lady. I think we talked about her on the show. She has 2 vaginas.
What?
Yeah, two different vaginal canals, and I thought it was interesting. I needed to see the anatomy behind it, so I subscribed. I think it was like $15 a month to subscribe.
Hell yeah.
But then the pay-per-view, like the shit you got to buy on the side, it was like 20 and 30. See both my holes exposed, and then. I paid the $30 and it turned some fucking like underwear, not showing anything, and then you have no recourse. You can't get your money back. You can't.
You feel
nothing,
cheated.
Yeah,
that's Stamboni should talk to Rice Merthin-Pesaurus. He's very passionate that he did not get his money's worth for the one with 2 vaginas. So I could tell he really was upset. This is, you guys can make fun of me about this. Shout out to Kenny, who messaged me. He was at the show. He said, so fun fact, I had to just give you a hug on my way out because generally, and no offense here, I'm usually too scared to approach because you have disappointed dad face.
You?
Yes.
Okay.
And I always catch cold feet before coming up to you. Broke the curse.
God.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Mayor. Thanks to the last. So disappointed dad.
That's
I
funny.
think you're very approachable.
Yeah.
I think so too.
You know what I do? I stand there. I don't stand where you guys stand in the lobby.
Yeah.
I stand where it is, and I literally say to everybody, hey, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
I say to every single person.
We try to do that.
Now, I only say that after we kill it like we did, right? If we bomb, I would never do that. But since you already know you did a good job and you know they had a good time, it makes things a lot easier. So I want to talk about this. You said, hey, I have an idea for a podcast, and you're worried that it'll be stolen. But now that you are revealing it on here, then now it's guaranteed that it's your idea and it's your intellectual property. It has a time and a date on it.
So drunk the other night, last night, doesn't matter. You know, you start thinking of ideas for things. And it would be, rotating guests. It's a music podcast.
Okay.
Where you have a guest on and whoever their favorite band or artist is, they give, if they were to introduce this band to someone who's never heard them before, what 4 songs would they introduce?
Okay.
Would they say, listen to these 4, and that's why I want to make you a Prince fan. I'm going to recommend Purple Rain, Kiss, whatever.
Purple Rain would be on your 4 songs of Prince to play.
I think you have to have that one. It's just
I would
the classic.
Yeah, I'm not
right.
Prince.
I mean, I'd have some deeper cuts.
Well, what do you got? We're here right now.
I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay,
I would probably do Controversy.
Okay, so not a deeper cut, not a super deep cut,
right.
But so I would do like When Doves Cry, which I believe is it's a great song. It's well known, but everybody it's also a jam.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that. I probably would do probably Little Red Corvette. Probably Little Red Corvette. I would probably do Let's Go Crazy.
Okay, these are all massive hits.
Yeah, giant hits. And then
Right.
I guess I would probably do Kiss.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, could you do Nothing Compares to You? Could you do that?
I mean, you'd have to do the Sinead O'Connor version.
You
'cause
would?
well, I mean, that's just so iconic. It's just,
Yeah,
really
because
can't-
that's
you couldn't do anything better than
probably
she
my
did it.
favorite Prince song.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's
yeah,
incredible.
and he didn't
All right.
make it a hit, but that would I just did your
I love
guy.
it. But and then obviously on the podcast you would play, these songs
Because they
or
aren't necessarily your,
portions of them.
and they aren't necessarily your four favorite.
No, no,
they're the ones that are going to make the other person fall in
exactly.
love with
Yes.
the artist that is your favorite.
So you would do Taylor Swift, I'm guessing, and then you would do
I do the Smiths.
All right.
That's my favorite band.
Robbie would do the Eagles.
Robbie will do the
obviously.
Eagles. You want to do them?
Robbie,
I could rip off 4. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Robbie.
do it.
Okay.
Oh, I'll do Taylor Swift.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I would do a little bit of, she has all these little like genres, so I'd probably do something early, like something poppy, like Blank Space.
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Love that.
I'd probably do something like newer, like Lover would be a good one.
Oh, that's a great
I
one.
like
Yeah.
that one. Maybe something like moody, like The One. I like that one.
Oh, that's a good song.
Oh, that's a
and then
nice
you know what?
upbeat.
All Too Well, the 10-minute
I was
version.
going to say that. I think
That's
you
a
have
good
to
one
do
because
that
it's
one.
not many songs are 10 minutes long,
Right.
and you get to see how she's a lyrical genius.
It's yes.
those
I kept you
would
like
be
I
my
kept
4.
you like a secret. You kept me like a secret.
I kept you like an oath. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do mine. I'll do the Smiths. Obviously, How Soon Is Now. That's their biggest song.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
theme song from Charmed.
Yeah, I know that
right?
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna do How Soon Is Now. We'll do the only Smith song that Robbie likes, which is called Panic.
Mhm.
Right?
All right.
Which is Robbie, you know that song, right? Hang the DJ.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I'll do that.
You're
I
the
would-
one for me, Fatty.
No, that's
Oh.
a Morrissey song.
sorry.
That's okay. Not that one. So I got How Soon Is Now. I got Panic. I would do What Difference Does It Make? I don't know if you guys know that song. I do that, and then I would do the iconic Girlfriend in a Coma. Those would be my
All
those
right.
would be my 4.
Okay.
Robbie.
I think I have to put Heartache Tonight on there because that was their only #1 hit and it's super catchy
Okay.
and co-written by Bob.
Hold
Seger.
on, their only #1 hit is Heartache Tonight.
Really?
Correct.
They
Yes.
don't have Hotel
Huh.
California wasn't a #1 hit.
No, Hotel California was not really a hit even when it came out. It became iconic over the years.
How is it? Was it not a
Same-
#1
same-
hit?
Same with Desperado. It wasn't a hit for them, but it became.
No, I get that,
I
but
hate
they were
Desperado.
one of the
Love
biggest.
Desperado.
They were
Yeah.
one of the biggest bands in the world, and you're telling me that they only had one #1 hit. It was Heartache Tonight.
That is absolutely correct.
All right.
Mm.
Wow, I find that
So
hard. to
Heartache.
believe.
Are you going to
Okay.
have Hotel California?
I would have. You have to put Hotel
Oh,
California.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're gonna, and my personal favorite New Kid in Town, I'd have to put on there. And then I think I'd have to pick Life in the Fast Lane.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
my
that's
favorite.
a jam.
My favorite. It's
All
also
right.
like one of the more upbeat ones. They don't have a ton of like
No.
fast
So,
riffs.
You know what I would do? I would do one from each, right? So I would do one from each singer. So I would do Don Henley's
Peaceful Lazy Feeling.
God, I probably, I do love that, but maybe Take It Easy. One of those two
Mm.
would be my Glenn Fry
Mhm.
song. Robbie wouldn't
I like Take
that.
It to the Limit.
But those would be, that's
Yeah,
Randy,
Randy
Meisner,
Okay.
right? But I would
I'm
do,
looking up my Eagles songs
but if I'm going to
here.
do the bases, I'd probably do Timothy B. Schmidt. I Can't Tell You Why. So I do
Mhm.
Joe Walsh, Life's Been Good. I do I Can't Tell You Why. I do Hotel California, and I would do Take It Easy.
And
Those would
Rocky
be
Mountain
my-
Way is just Joe
Right.
Walsh, right?
That's
It's not
that's when he
Eagles?
was with the James
Okay,
gang.
yeah. So
I
then
would do-
definitely Life's Been Good.
I would do One of These Nights because I feel like it has a little
Oh,
different
it's a great
sound.
one.
Then it's a little more
Yeah.
R&B ish, so you might be getting a more,
Yeah, and I'm so bummed to hear that their only #1 hit ever
Yeah.
was Heart Attack. But I
Man,
don't like that you
get over
chose
it.
it because of that.
Right.
Because, like, for
Well, because
example,
I just think it's a great song, and I think you pretty much you listen to it, you're gonna immediately like it.
yeah, but I'll give you an example. Like Bob Seger's only #1 hit was Shakedown. No one in the world would include that in their
No.
top
Right.
4.
Mhm.
Bob
Of course,
Seger,
that's because it was Beverly Hills Cop, right?
And you know who was
Yeah.
originally supposed to sing that, right?
Glenn Fry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
would
if,
say Tequila Sunrise is an important song too for Glenn Fry.
if we did this podcast ourselves, I think Erik Woodworth should be our first guest, and he would present the music of Jeremy Woodworth.
Mine would be 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Docking with My Son.
Mhm.
Yes.
Insurance Man.
Insurance Man.
And the Purple Power
and
Hour.
Purple Power Hour,
Yeah. Those are jams, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he wrote, I'm not exaggerating. I'll bet you he wrote 50 songs for Quality Time. I'll bet it's more than that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more than that.
Yeah,
It's probably
he-
one per episode.
how
I
many?
mean, he probably wrote 50 songs for Rob and Joe show
Well,
at 98 Rock.
yeah.
That's what
Probably.
I was saying. I was wondering, Robbie, how many songs? I don't think it's 50, but I think 10 would be a good.
I'm gonna tell you how many songs he sent us.
All right.
I'm gonna give you a pretty
Let
accurate
us
number.
guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Okay,
while
go
you're
ahead.
figuring it out, let's each make a guess. I said 10. I want to change it to 15.
All right, I would say 12.
I'll go one up 16.
Ah,
Smart.
Price is right.
Smart.
yes.
As Robbie's compiling that, we're
No,
wrapping.
you guys are way off.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
25.
Yeah. So I win.
Oh,
No, you
the
didn't
best.
go over. Wow, 25. So that means that honestly, on Quality Time is 100 songs.
No, easily.
Easily
Yeah.
100 songs because Quality Time has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Quality Time, by the
Mhm.
way, the podcast, which probably won't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
go
was-
listen to. I've never listened to a Quality Time episode. Sorry.
Hey, I've been on it.
Mhm.
Sorry, I haven't
Ah,
listened.
That's okay. Not offended.
Do we want to do this last thing?
Bob,
Like, 4
I
minutes?
guess is Justin saying Bob Seger, Main Street, CCR, Fortunate Son, Christopher Cross, where I'd like to win, and 1-800 Cars for Kids Thieves. So it's just all over the place. Yeah, you guys have a trip coming up. We'll just touch on it now.
Yeah.
Tell us who you're going with and where you're going.
We're going to Epstein Island. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
With 2 other couples. We were actually supposed to go with 3 other couples,
Mhm.
but one just
But Jeremy passed away.
yeah,
Yes,
they can't
Jeremy
go
wouldn't
anymore.
make it.
So 6 of us are going, and we're staying. It's the first time we're going somewhere like tropical like this and not staying at a resort. We're staying.
Yeah, we're staying in an
We're
Airbnb.
staying. No, we're staying at we're staying at a rental. So that's a verbo, but
Is that not an Airbnb?
I mean
It's a step up.
it's a step up. from
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Don't
but-
sound poor,
But we
Joe.
have to go get our own food is the point. There-
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
we
When
have
you're on
dinner
a resort-
reservations.
Yeah.
Right.
We have we're taking a boat to St. John one day, and we're doing it up. It's probably gonna be the nicest trip we've ever been on.
We're going on a steakhouse. They're having this night called Game of Meats where we can eat rabbit,
Yeah.
ostrich.
You have a different choice
venison,
for each course.
Yeah.
bison,
Mhm.
octopus. I can't remember what else.
Lots of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's stuff I would
Mhm.
never try on there. I'm going straight basics. or-
Chicken.
Yeah. Whatever's the most
Pork,
basic. I'm
No,
gonna
beef.
do
aren't you
that.
doing like the? Weren't you doing that?
I am gonna
duck
do the-
lollipop.
I'm
or
gonna do the
something?
octopus tacos.
Octopus. That's
which
not
is
basic.
I mean, I
Is
think
it basic?
It's the most
Octopus
basic.
taco is
It
not
was
ba-
quail lollipops, and it was I don't know, ostrich something.
Ariel
and-
says, "Take me." I mean, you and her husband, were an item the other night.
Oh,
Yeah, there's an
yeah.
Murder
extra,
mystery,
but we
yeah.
don't have a bed large enough for her husband.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
we-
true.
yeah, no, there's an extra spot,
No,
guys.
it's
if
gonna
you,
be fun.
if on 3 days' notice you guys want to go to St. Thomas, let us know.
I think it's going to be an awesome idea and or trip. And you had this idea, Katie. I want to get to it because it's a
Mhm.
great idea. That the Epstein, the lit, it's
Yeah.
coming out this week.
I
Right?
made the Epstein Island joke because everyone's talking about how they're supposed to drop in the new year,
January 5th, I believe.
January 5th. They're
Yeah.
supposed to release all of the names on the docket for
Right.
Epstein.
There was a-
Epstein's Island that they visited.
Yeah, there was a civil case between Ghislaine and one of the.
Yeah.
What, am I saying the name wrong?
I think it's Ghislaine.
I
I don't know.
think
It's,
it's jizz.
it's not Ghislaine.
Oh, that's my favorite street.
Jizzy Lane.
So Ghislaine.
She obviously sang, right? And so
Yeah.
now all these
Well, what
names
happened
are-
was this woman who sued civilly, Ghislaine. Basically this is the unsealed documents of
Yeah.
what basically the case that she was making.
Okay.
And the case that she was making includes people that were victims, includes people that were there, includes people that were participants in illegal activity. And so all these names are going to be available to the public.
So you
Now-
want to guess who some of these people are?
Well, again, it's not every name that there is, but now here's the thing. There's people that people are rooting for, obviously.
Bill Clinton's the obvious guess. we're not gonna
politically
make,
right. That
Yeah.
politically people like to,
I think
hope
we
that
should
they're-
all try to guess somebody that would be an unexpected.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
One-
And what's the
name.
timeline here? Catch me up.
we're gonna know in a week.
No. When this island
Oh,
trips were happening.
So I think she's 40 now, and she was underage. So this thing is 18 years old. Or sorry, 20 over 22 years
So
ago,
we're
something like
talking
that.
90,
year 2000 ish.
late
something around there,
90s.
yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to
Probably
think
even
of-
before that.
All right.
So I would say somewhere around late 90s.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we know Clinton will be on there, obviously.
I'll start off with Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
late great.
Yeah.
Burt
Are we all
Reynolds.
picking one? Should we?
Let's just we can pick a couple.
Okay.
We got a few minutes here.
Burt
Robbie, you can
Reynolds.
chime in too.
I also have a Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds.
You think Ryan Reynolds?
He's pretty young.
He
but
would have been
okay.
like 15 years old. at
Hey,
the
I'm
time.
going Bob Saget.
You think Bob
Wow.
Saget
I
is on
am.
there?
I am.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Robin Williams.
It's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Because he has to be somebody that he's going to want at the island. And so they either have to be very, very wealthy or
Yeah.
very, very famous.
Is Burt Reynolds dead?
Burt Reynolds is dead. Yeah.
So 3 of the 4 we've just picked are all dead.
Who'd
Yeah.
you say, Joe? I'm sorry.
I said Robin Williams. Robbie,
very
did you make a
answer.
guess, Robbie?
Yeah, you
I
said
did.
one.
I got another one.
Okay.
James Caan.
James Caan.
Another dead.
person.
Sonny Corleone. Is
Yeah.
he
Do you
dead?
believe that all these people are
Yep.
dead because of this? Something connected to
Well, maybe because they're going to release it because there are so many people that are dead. on
I'm trying to think of somebody who's alive that this could ruin them.
I have
Mhm.
one. John Travolta.
It's a good one.
there. Ooh, you're going to go Travolta?
I'm going with the Scientologist.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with one. Not Oprah, but Stedman.
You think Stedman was there?
Oh my
All right. Stedman.
I don't
Okay.
even know how
Yeah.
to spell that name.
All right, this will ruin this guy's reputation if he's on the list. Bill Cosby.
Oh,
Bill
no,
Cosby.
I'll never
Okay.
come back from that.
I mean,
On the chat,
Leonardo
we have
DiCaprio, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
He dates a lot of young
Yeah.
women. Although he would have been somewhat young at this point, so I don't know that this is in the wheelhouse, but that
Leo.
it wouldn't surprise me, and that would hurt him
Okay.
tremendously.
Oh, I got one. I got one.
Andrew, hold on, says Jimmy Fallon. Carrie has Joe Rogan. Van Arso has Hulk Hogan. Hackman, maybe Hillary.
I don't know that Joe
Hey.
Rogan would have.
I like those are good.
I got one who's on
Okay.
there. Derek Jeter.
Ooh, Jeter.
Okay,
That's
in
a
the
good
sports
one.
world, I got one.
Okay.
Robert Kraft.
Ooh, the
Oh yeah, and he
Patriots
got a
owner.
massage
Yes.
too. So
And
there's
it's New York.
and he's rich.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what? How about that?
That's a good
I'm
one,
gonna
Robbie.
stay with that. I'm gonna go Jerry Jones,
Jerry Jones.
Cowboys
Hmm.
owner.
Okay, so I have 3. How many do you have?
I have 3.
I have
Robbie
2.
has
I gotta
4.
think of one more.
Oh, Robbie
Yeah.
has 4, so
Yeah.
I get another one.
We each get
Do we
4.
think
then.
if there's any females? Do we want to see if we can guess a
I
female?
think you should.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't guess Hillary though, because you know damn well she's on the list.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ariel says Naomi Campbell.
Oh,
Ooh.
models don't make
Oh,
sense to me.
yeah.
What's the one model?
I'm gonna
She
go.
was
With
the short but super famous model.
she's short.
Hey, what about like Tara Reid?
Oh, you have
Or what's the dead girl? Nicole
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith.
I
So
think
is that who
that-
you're taking? Anna Nicole Smith.
I like that one.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Okay.
She might have went with her
Hey.
billionaire husband.
How do we feel about the guy that Robbie loves? What's his name?
Howard
David
Stern.
Letterman.
Howard.
Both.
Oh man, if
Ooh.
Stern is on there.
I bet one of them is on there.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
taking which one do you want? I'm
I'd be
taking one.
shocked.
I'm taking one of them.
Oh, Robbie doesn't like that.
Robbie-
I'm locking. I'm locking in Stern.
No, Robbie does not.
No,
like
one
that.
of those are actually. I think those could be good because they're the age too.
Yes.
Is right in that.
Okay, I have one.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan.
She
Oh,
was so young. She would have been so young.
Yeah,
that she might have been. You know.
Interesting.
I got Lohan on there.
All
What
right.
about the girl that went crazy that was in She's the Man? What?
Oh, Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes.
You have one left, Katie. So
Got one
far,
left.
yeah.
All right, I want to go athlete. I want to go athlete.
I like
So, God, Jeter era is big.
Alex Rodriguez is probably one.
Tiger,
A-Rod.
Tiger Woods.
I don't-
Affleck.
Jordan.
So good, but I don't want to take any of the ones that you're telling me. I want to.
No, we're
Oh,
all done.
Woods. Oh, Woods is
We're
good.
all
Woods is-
done.
I
You
know,
have the
but I
last
don't want to.
pick.
I want it to be something I think about.
Okay,
Okay,
But-
sorry.
gotcha.
All right,
Sorry.
let me think one more second, and if you guys think of any, we'll add it. But I Woods is going to be on there if I can't think of somebody better.
Oh, somebody.
What about Bill Murray?
Oh, that's good.
I don't
That's
know. Murray
good.
doesn't have a phone.
I know, but
What does that mean?
How are you
you
going
don't
to get
think
him
Epstein could have reached Bill Murray?
Are you
Yeah.
are you locking in Bill Murray?
I'm going Tiger Woods instead of Bill
Tiger
Murray.
Woods.
Yeah, Tiger Woods.
I
is-
like it. Okay.
I wish I had a do-over.
Mm.
So, we
Ryan
have,
Reynolds is really throwing me off in
Yeah.
here. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
no way Ryan Reynolds
I
is
hope.
on there.
I think it'll be
Yeah.
hilarious if you're right, but that one's the one that's sticking out like a sore thumb to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So I have Burt Reynolds, Oprah's husband Stedman, Jerry Jones, and Howard Stern.
Okay.
This also is who do you want to have dinner with? Dinner party. Robbie has Ryan Reynolds, James Caan, Bill Cosby, and Robert Kraft.
Yeah, Bill Cosby could easily
Wait.
be on
Yeah.
there.
Tom Hanks,
I was thinking, Hanks, you wanted who you're replacing.
Anna Nicole Smith.
You're taking we had to have a girl on there.
All right, then leave her.
Okay.
No,
we
you
won't
can-
add him. We won't add him.
You
All
want-
right.
All
Okay.
right.
Katie has Bob Saget, Leonardo DiCaprio. You want to replace Leo for Hanks? It's an actor. It's older.
Wait a minute. Do you have a
Nicole
girl?
Smith, Tiger. I do not have a girl.
Yeah, you don't have to have a girl. You
All
can
right,
take her out.
I'm gonna take out Leo. No, take out Leo. Put Tom Hanks because you're right.
That's
I
'cause
think
you
Leo's
want-
too young.
Yep.
I think
Okay.
Leo's too young.
So you have Hanks, Saget, Anna Nicole Smith, and Tiger. Joe,
Yeah.
you have Robin Williams, John Travolta, Derek Jeter, and Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I don't feel great about my list with Lohan in there, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I'd like to switch
You wanna
out.
switch it?
Yeah,
We're
I want
allowing-
to
we're
switch out
allowing it.
Lohan, and I
Okay.
want to put in Tom Brady.
Justin
Tom Brady.
put
Somebody said that on the thing.
Justin put Dan Snyder, Vince McMahon, Pauly
Ooh.
Shore.
Oh, I thought of
Oh.
Pauly Shore, but Vince McMahon
God,
is a
Vince
great
McMahon
one.
is so good.
And then
Those
he
are
wrote-
Justin's picks.
And then he wrote Justin, which I thought he was saying himself,
Yeah.
but he's just saying that
He
it's
would know
from
if he was on the-
Justin.
Justin, text me your list, so I'll add you to this.
And we
so you
can all agree that
His list is on.
that
I
if
guess
we could
it's- I
pick
guess
for
that's the
anyone to be
four,
on
yeah.
that list, it would be Howard Stern. So Robbie would just flip
Yeah.
out.
Ashton James Hackman said Ashton Kutcher. That's a good guess.
No, because he's one of the ones that kind of outed that this stuff was
or
happening.
or
right?
that's why.
And he also is friends with Danny Masterman or whatever it was,
Who's a rapist?
who's a rapist. Yeah, there's
What
that.
if Mila Kunis is on this list?
I need
man,
one
my
more
dad
from
wouldn't
Justin.
What
care.
if Kaylee Cuoco is on this
God.
list?
What if
All-
it's Kunis,
it's
Cuoco,
all
Underwood?
Gramps.
Yes,
What if it's your dad is on the list?
and Parker. What's
Jeremy Woodworth.
what's the girl he likes? The comedian? Yeah, I can't remember her name. What's the comedian that my dad's always liking her on Facebook? She was on her show. Why can't I think of her name?
Oh, Walker Hayes.
Is it what if
Yes,
Walker Hayes is
Walker
on there?
Hayes.
Yes.
Yeah.
and,
good.
and Justin's final one is Kid Rock. Love it.
Oh yeah,
Kid
no,
Rock's
Justin
good.
has a good list.
He-
Dan,
damn
yeah.
good list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, rest in peace, Jeremy
Yeah,
Woodworth.
man.
You gave us a lot of laughs, a lot of good times.
Love you, man.
January 20th.
Love
we'll
you too,
do
Eric.
a celebration of life. Our heart goes out to the Woodworth family. Love you guys. See you.
See ya.
Bye.